Welcome to an all-new episode of GVN Review. On this episode, we'll be reviewing the trailers from the PlayStation? What was the
PlayStation Showcase?
PlayStation Showcase. Okay. They gave a whole lot of gems to people that have PlayStations. Unlike myself, I just enjoyed the videos. Like,
you have time.
Trayvon, it'll never happen. You know what? At this point, it won't happen out of spite for how much Joel wants me to transition over.
You can have
come over. We have cookies.
We have cookies. Wow.
You know what? At this point, it's just the loyalty in me. Like I've never said Xbox does anything better than PlayStation. It's just I grew up on Xbox. I've stuck with Xbox. That's really as simple as it is. And I remember going, yeah, no, I'm sticking with Xbox because my dad is. And I remember my dad years ago going, I'm playing MLB The Show. And I'm like, huh? That's impossible. He's like, how? I'm like, it's only for PlayStation. This was years ago. And he's like, oh, no, I have a PlayStation. And I just said, I'm sorry, what? He's like, yeah, I went over to PlayStation. I remember being heartbroken, just like, I don't know what the fuck to think anymore.
Your man is your father's a very smart man, and if you haven't realized that by now,
well, just naturally I rebel against my parents. That's just what it is. But no, so Sony gave a shit ton of trailers that knocked people's socks off. So I'm gonna start with you, Joel. What were the top 3 games that stuck out to you the most from this showcase? Only 3.
Only 3?
3.
Oh my god! I like the last 5 minutes was like orgasmic.
It was
like holy shit! Talk about a way to end this show. I was like, god damn. Oh, just like as soon as it said Insomniac and Marvel, I was like, lost my mind. You know, it's funny. I can probably go through it word for word because I was on the phone at the time when I was watching the trailer, and it popped. Like I said, it popped up as Insomniac, and I'm like, oh shit! And it says Marvel. Automatically, my mind goes Spider-Man. So I figured they're gonna show Spider-Man.
Exactly.
So I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see the trailer. And I see a bar. I'm like, okay,
yeah, I was like, what is this? Yeah.
Everyone's laying around. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Music's playing, and then it turns over to this dude in flannel and a cowboy hat. And my first thought was, Wolverine? There's no way. That's because I know Wolverine. I love Wolverine. I know exactly what he looks like. That's the perfect, and it's a setting. It's like that's his setting, a bar. And I didn't know it, and then it got closer, and then you see him with the knuckles all bloodied up. And he pulls out the claws, like, it is, and it says Wolverine. I'm like, a part of me said, God loves me too much. And I'm like, why would they make a video game against Spider? And then, of course, it's from the same company, because both Spider-Man games were fantastic.
Yes.
The Miles game was great, and the original Spider-Man game, and of course, the second one that's coming out looks great. But a Wolverine game, which for me, I haven't really enjoyed a Wolverine game since Wolverine's Revenge, and I know the Origins game was pretty decent, but
I love
for
that.
me, X-Men, Wolverine's Revenge for PlayStation 2, I think it was. It was around when X-Men 2 came out, so with X2. It was promoting that movie, but it had nothing to do with the movie. It was just a Wolverine game, and it was fantastic. Like he did stealth, I had action, I had a little bit of everything. I had a great roster of villains to fight. Like you fought everybody in that game, and you could change your costume.
Rage.
And had a radio. He got a berserk mode. And then of course, Mark Hamill was the voice of Wolverine in that game. So I'm like that. I haven't got a Wolverine game like that in a very long time. If this game I already know it's gonna be better, but just a matter if they can come close to that like the Wolverine's Revenge game. I got my wish.
I'm telling you this right now, bro. If this Wolverine game has a map like any of the two Spider, or if it has a map like that first Spider-Man game, and instead of obviously swinging around, you can drive on your motorcycle around New York City or wherever they decide to put the game in. You could be Canada, wherever. Mm-hmm. the numbers on this game will be. First of all, I will buy a PlayStation if that shit happens. If this is an open world Wolverine game where I can just hop on the bike, just drive around and do missions, I'll lose that shit.
I don't know how open world it's gonna be. I don't need it to be open world like that. But if that's the case, I'll take it.
I fucking need it because part of what I loved about watching you play Spider-Man is how open it literally is. I literally can swing anywhere, jump off the building.
Character that swings. It makes sense. Like the mechanic of him swinging makes sense. For me, on a motorcycle drive around, that's cool. I'm not saying it's not cool. And like he doesn't have a distinct location like New York. Like he does live in New York, but he's in Westchester. He's in Canada. He's all over the place. Mm-hmm. And that motherfucker's usually either on a motorcycle or in a Jeep. So it's like, I mean, if he has multiple vehicles, he steals vehicles. Who knows? I'm fine with that. But he doesn't have a distinct location like Spider-Man. That's my thing. So I don't really. If it's like every area he's in has a distinct open world, fine. You know, maybe there's 3 different areas that's just open where you can travel around.
It could be. You remember how extensive because you're playing it. Red Dead Redemption 2 is. That's a big ass map. And each place has a large area, right? That's even longer because you're on horseback.
You take trains, if you need to. Yeah, if it works out like that, I can definitely see it similar to that.
I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it being more like a Western. There's Wolverine game. I wouldn't mind that either. Shit, Red Dead Redemption, but with claws?
Yeah.
God damn. But I'm sorry, you were saying something, Trayvon.
Oh, no, I'm fine. I was just saying, I mean, like you were saying, maybe it's not like complete open world like Spider-Man. Although Spider-Man can travel on the train when he wants to jump to other places and stuff. But I mean, maybe it's like Avengers where when you go to some place, it's just, you are there for a mission, but they don't make you like, oh, you have to go this way.
Right.
You can,
it's not linear.
Do whatever you want in there. Like when you go to New York, you can go around or the Badlands or wherever in those games, you can go wherever you want in there. So I mean, maybe they'll do it like that. I mean, it's just for me, it's just Insomniac has built up the benefit of the doubt. Like just automatically believe that they'll do it. Like it'll be great. It's just they've done it twice for me so far. So I haven't played the new Ratchet & Clank, but I have it right here. So it's just like they're gonna do it for me. I'm ready. I'm excited.
I mean,
it looks better than these other 2 Marvel games that I've seen. Those other 2. Just saying.
They're hedging their bet because if the Wolverine game isn't great, right? You got Spider-Man right there. That I think we can already just bet money that game is gonna be great, right? Yeah. So Wolverine could be one of those things where and I'm not saying they will, if it's a mishap, you just go back to the drawing board. But you got Spider-Man that's about to make you $1 billion again. So you could just rest on that and just think of new stuff. But I'm hoping this is more so a kick in the ass. As Jamie was saying, and I wish she wasn't busy so she could be on here. I know she wanted to talk it. Me and Joelle have been saying, have you not incorporated a Superman game? It can work. It can work. It's probably easier today than ever before to make it work.
That's true.
So it's just the idea of DC just has too many rich characters for there not to be more than just Batman games out there.
And this is why I have a problem with this Suicide Squad game. I don't understand. Like, that's why I have a problem with Suicide Squad, because apparently you're playing against the Justice League. I just don't. Why? I just don't understand why do this game.
I'm with you, and that's the first thought we had. But to me, once I can see the gameplay, if I have fun playing it, I'm fine with that. Because to me, it's one of those things where it's like, I want to support this game purely because it's different. Because it's not Batman or Batman's family or someone that knows Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not connected to something Batman. So I want to support it, even if I think it's the stupidest concept ever. I want to support it so they're comfortable giving us more. Like, we just deserve more DC games that are just not that. And don't get me wrong, I want a Batman game a year, but I also want other people too. I want more people than just him. So to me, I'm with you, Trayvon. It screams what I hated about the first Suicide Squad movie. There's a bat, there's guns, and you have an evil warrior priestess. And what? So, but to me, It's all in the execution, as Joel always says. It's all about how you do it. Who knows? Maybe they knock one of the Justice League members loose and they help. Who knows? I'm just waiting to see the gameplay for that before I make any more decisions. But all right, so Wolverine was your number one, Joel. What's your next two?
Wolverine was number one. Yes, I know that's shocking, but I haven't seen the damn the liquor gameplay. But I don't need to. My imagination is taking over.
that was extensive enough. That was just the announcement was just like,
whoa, yeah,
right.
It took me, buddy. Took me. Two was definitely Spider-Man. Like when we finally got to the Spider-Man 2 announcement, and they showed him and they showed Miles. They had him in his using the arms, the spider arms in his normal suit. I was like, okay, that's different. And then you had the Venom reveal.
Is it just? I'm sorry. Is it just me? Does Miles' suit mask look different?
They're all tweaked. They all look more high def. But
because to me, I really like the way that
more or less the same
his last suit looked in the Miles game. I was kind of hoping he would just stick with that for a while.
It basically is the same too. It's more or less the same suit.
Okay, so it didn't look any different to you. It could just be me.
I mean, I'm sure the graphics have been updated somewhat.
Yeah.
But
if you see the
it's the same.
Yeah, if you see the comparisons, the suits are just tweaked slightly. But they look more or less the same. Those are going to basically be their base suits. And then you see the Venom reveal. We find out Tony Todd is going to be voicing Venom, and then we get it sounds like Craven is going to be the Venom.
That has to be Craven.
It sounds like Craven.
Great misdirect that they're trying to do there, but please.
I know. I'm like at first I thought it was Morgan. Who the fuck is the voice in the background?
It sounds like Venom is answering him. He said,
"Kind of is. Kind of sound like
we
that.
will."
It could be a splicing. It could be a splicing of it, just putting it together.
I mean, if it's anything like the first game, there's gonna be tons of villains to choose from.
Right.
And
probably returning characters.
Yeah, it's probably more or less more villains that we got, updated, broke out of jail, whatever. A new Sinister Six, who knows? But yeah, for sure. Venom, like we knew we were gonna get Venom, and I would love a spinoff of just Venom because it just seems like why not? Like they did with Miles, that'd be cool. In San Francisco, I always said it, like just put them in the West Coast, a whole different city. But now instead of Spider-Man, it's Venom. You have a new city to swing in. It's always New York. We've never swung anywhere else.
If Sony were smart, they would have given Insomniac the keys to doing a Venom game based off of the movies.
Yeah. Well, I'd stay away from movie tie-in games, but yes, a Venom game. So just even if it doesn't tie into the movies, it's something.
They got their own story.
Yeah, have its own thing. Do its own thing.
Yeah. I would hope that there's a way to transform. I would love to transform. Like you can run around as Eddie Brock and then just break out
back and forth.
Yeah,
that would
be cool.
Yeah.
It would.
I would love that.
That'd be fun. So yeah, the Spider-Man 2 reveal trailer was obviously awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I just watching that, I was just like, this is crazy. Shout out to Peter because he definitely came back home to New York, saw what Miles was able to do, and said, "Oh hell no, let me get in the lab and tweak my shit real quick. I don't need people thinking there's a cooler Spider-Man."
Miles is such a fun game.
He was. I have to admit, it was kind of more fun to play as Miles than it was.
So, at certain aspects.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
It was probably the powers, right, Trayvon? Just because
he was more. I don't know, like the way he swings. It was more. I don't know. It was more. More
loose, more free.
Yeah, kind of like not as uniform, I guess you could say.
Because even in the Spider-Verse, you see that they swing different.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
He does swing differently. There's a little more. It's more suave.
Yeah.
They're way more swagger.
They swing definitely. I love some of the suits for the. I mean, they both had really good suits.
Yeah.
Like there's more like Peter had more tech, and Miles obviously had because he had extra abilities like Venom and the Venom, stuff like that. And the way they used the Venom in this game, fucking cool. Like, oh man, there was some really cool moments in that game. Both games I love to death because they're just amazing. And I can't wait to see how they do with the second one.
The biggest question is Venom who we think is Venom, which is Harry, or do we get introduced to Eddie Brock in this game?
I think we might get both. I think I might start off as Harry, Maybe that's what. Maybe this is how the game works out. Maybe it starts with Harry, then it gets on Peter, and then you have to use Miles, and then it gets off of Peter, and then joins to Eddie, and you're like, oh, what the fuck is Eddie, and shit like that.
That's gonna be interesting because in some iterations of Venom, electricity is what bothers the symbiote also.
It's usually like sound, like vibration.
Vibration, and I think I saw it somewhere.
Fireworks too.
Fire. Okay. Well, then that's what Miles can use to his advantage. He has that shocking yellow ability that he can ignite something to spook Venom off. But a black suited Spider-Man versus Miles would be pretty dope. This game's gonna cross 2 billion.
Also, Miles' electricity was blue at one point in the trailer. I mean, that could be a
well, that could be something new.
I'm saying, I'm wondering what, like, is it more powerful or what? Like, I wonder, like.
Well, blue is usually hotter, right?
Yes, blue is hotter.
Yeah.
To me, I feel like if Peter's tech is going to enhance, Miles' power should enhance. I don't need a new power per game. I don't need to be ridiculous.
Well, you got to try something different. You got to try new things.
Right.
Yeah, and it could just be something where it tweaks what he already is able to do. Like you said, going from yellow to blue. Maybe blue is more extensive or more dangerous or whatever.
Maybe it's charged up. Maybe it could charge it or something, and it hits him harder.
Yeah, for sure. Before you go into your third one, I do want to ask you too, Joel. What was your favorite Miles look?
My favorite what?
Miles look.
Look?
Yeah.
Aside from his classic or his game look, his main game look, which I love that. They didn't have it. But my favorite alternate look for Miles, honestly, is his look into the Spider-Verse. I fucking love him in the hoodie and the shorts and the Jordan. That's awesome. That's my favorite look.
Go ahead, Trayvon.
Yeah, I got the hoodie one. The hoodie one, that's the one I always have him in the game. Like, it's a hood. It's not that one.
It's not that hoodie.
It's a hoodie.
Yeah,
but it's still cool looking. Yeah, the black suit, cool.
I do love him in the hoodie.
To me, they should redefine that to being the new look for Miles. Yeah, for Miles.
But I even liked in the beginning when he was the winter jacket and the hood on. And he was wearing his Spidey's old costume. I like that look too. He looks so casual. That's why it is.
Yep. Because, I mean, it is one of those things where it's just like, you would assume they have to get cold. So it's like, New York gets really cold. So it's not out of the realm.
Actually, as high as they are most of the time. It's windy.
It's not out of the realm of possibility that Miles goes, hell nah, let me grab my jacket real quick. Like, before we go out.
Did you guys hear about the meltdown of the Crystal Davis developer? Did you hear about that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, he went on like a Twitter rant about, like, I guess, like, people comparing, and it was like, it's a game with one character and versus a game with multiple characters. I was like, oh God, don't do this. And he just really, like, lost it on Twitter a little bit.
Really?
It's pretty, I was like, ooh, that's okay.
People like talking a lot of shit. People get angry.
Not good for you. Don't do that. Like,
all the people talking shit are going to be the first ones in line at midnight to buy this to buy the game. So. Those people.
I enjoy them all. I've enjoyed the Avengers game so far.
No, I guess people just comparing because Avengers had problems since the beginning. I feel like the Spider-Man game really hasn't had that many problems. Like, it's been pretty smooth playing.
To do what they did in the Avengers game is tough.
I know. Yeah, definitely.
I didn't buy Avengers.
That's why I let them go. Like,
I didn't buy Avengers when it first came out, but I will forever say that.
I did. Yeah.
I will forever say this. I love the game. I have no problems with that game. None. I love the game. I want them to make more, expanding the Avengers cast. With obviously Falcon, War Machine, Wanda, Vision. I want them to continue making this game. I love this game.
I did too. I'm really I haven't really my PlayStation right now is getting old, so it's having issues, or else I would have been finished with this game. I have a broken controller. My fucking PlayStation is spitting my games back out at me. I
do remember it spitting the game.
Fucking annoying, man. I hate it. So it's hard for me to want to even play PlayStation sometimes because my PlayStation wants me to get the PS5. That's what it's telling me. It's time to move over. But I don't have the money for that right now. So I want to know. Plus, I want a new TV before I get to play PS5 and shit. So I will do it. So stop fucking rushing me. Anyway,
Joel's PlayStation is probably the only system in America that is able to clock out. Like your system goes, nope, I'm off. Take it out. I don't want it. No, thank you. You're not playing games tonight.
But yeah, I do again. I do want to finish that Black Panther thing. I love playing with the Black Panther, and I love that you can play with the MCU suits. And I can't wait for like when Hawkeye comes out, I can play with the Hawkeye costume or Kate's Hawkeye costume from the show, because I have no doubt they'll probably be available.
Oh yeah.
So I love that they do that too, because that's one of my favorite things when Injustice did it. Like in the first Injustice, where you got to play as Arrow, like from the series. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then they gave later on, you got the Man of Steel's costume, and then obviously in part 2, you got the Justice League costumes. But I love when you were able to do that. So the Avengers game has given us the ability to use these costumes. Spider-Man did too. Like we got to play with the Spider-Man movie costumes, both of them, all of them. Like got them, almost all of them at least. So I've loved them. So the fact that like I saw someone mentioning Wolverine, like you get Wolverine movie. I'm like, I don't want to use the fucking Wolverine movie costumes. They've been terrible. I'm not sure what you would use.
Wait, Hugh Jackman's?
Yeah, what good movie costume did he have?
They're gonna do them.
Like honestly, what costume was good?
The yellow one that we saw in the case.
The one that he never wore. Yeah.
The one good costume of Hugh Jackman's out of all the ones he ever had was the white T-shirt with jeans. That was it. That was his best costume.
Which is just a basic, what he basically wears anyway.
Right, exactly. That was the best
costume he
ever had. But no, there should be no adaptations from any look of any of those Fox.
Those movie costumes are bad. So I don't ever need those costumes. But oh my god. Anyway,
I don't need anything reminding me of those Fox movies. We're in a whole new era. Just give us what Wolverine should look like, and let's just move on.
Like honestly, like what do I want that leather costume from those movies?
Somebody wants it.
Well, someone definitely wants it. Probably prefers it.
They can watch the movies and
back
get all they want.
Yes, costumes.
I don't want to play as that. I don't even want the option to play as that. I won't buy the game. Don't even put that in here.
Stop it.
Put that badge on that game.
You really want that costume? That shit's
ugly. I mean, no, not technically, but I'm saying somebody might want it. I mean,
somebody definitely wants it.
Put it up there.
Let's not cater to them. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh Lord, that costume's fucking.
All right, so I already know what it is, but I'm gonna let you say it. But what's your third game, Joel?
It's God of War. God of War.
Of course.
I fucking love God of War. So seeing a sequel to God of War, obviously I'm waiting for it. There's just so much more that we're gonna get from that world that I already love and played. I played them all. You know, I think the only one I haven't played was like it was like an Origin one. I forget which one it was. It was weird. It was like an in between game. But I played the original trilogy, and then I played obviously the next one, the God of War Norse mythology one, the one that obviously preceded this one. But and I can't wait because everything I've seen so far looks fantastic, and they left us kind of with a cliffhanger in the last game, so I'm really excited for what's to come. Oh yeah, Ragnarok looks fantastic. Man, we need a fucking movie with Kratos, bro, because he's a beast, yo.
I've never played these games before.
You never played God of War? Oh, they're fun. They're fun.
Okay.
I love those are my type of games though. Like third person action games are really my shit.
That's probably the only other thing I could play outside of open world is a game like God of War. You know, the way God of War, Uncharted, the way those games play are games I could 100% get into.
They did have Uncharted at the showcase, but it's like they're gonna have updated graphic versions of them for like the PS5.
Oh,
so I can get Uncharted 4 for PS5 graphics. I'm like, oh, that's nice. But I already played.
Right, give me new. But no, I love what God of War is doing. I love how the end of everything is on its way. And I keep having to remind myself that Norse mythology existed before Marvel. Because every time I see Thor with that small ass baby hammer, I keep saying to myself, why? Make it bigger. Then I'm like, oh, no. Thor Odinson in Marvel is not it's not the Thor Odinson from Norse mythology. Because I hated
their version of it.
Right, that look of Thor with his small ass little baby, little baby tyke hammer.
They made Thor all fat and shit.
See, I love that because I think they were probably playing off of how successful Fat Thor was from the MCU.
I did think that when I first saw it. I did.
Yeah, which I don't mind because it's hysterical. But that fucking hammer took me out. I was dying laughing for like an hour. But I can't wait. I can't wait to watch the cutscenes of this game. His son is older. I'm not playing it, Joel. I'm not getting a PlayStation. I'm being honest here.
Now, is that because you can't find it, or you really don't want one?
No, I know exactly where to get a PlayStation 5 right now. I just don't want it. I don't want it. I don't even play my Xbox.
What is on Xbox that's holding you back?
Nothing. I told you I play my
Switch.
Don't you have more than one HDMI port? Plug in both.
That's not the problem. I don't play the Xbox as it is. I play my Switch. So I'd be buying a PlayStation to barely play that.
So I'm just saying, just don't get the next Xbox. Skip that. Get the PS5.
I haven't. My brother called me. He was like, let's go get it. And I said, no, I don't play the one I have now. I'm not getting a new system unless Switch comes out with a brand new. Then I'll just.
They will eventually.
Yeah, so that's probably when I'll get my new system. Is when Switch.
So you're not gonna. So you're no longer Xbox or PlayStation. You're just Nintendo going forward.
I play them. Yes. Then yes.
That's what you say. That's different.
Yeah.
I'm Team Nintendo. I've given up on PlayStation and Xbox.
So yeah, but look, like I said, if this Wolverine game is hitting the way that I think it should be hitting, that'll probably be what crosses me over. Because then at that point, it's just like, well, Insomniac will probably get the green light to do whatever the fuck they want to. Right. Insomniac will probably finally give us our Daredevil game.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I have to get a PlayStation at that point.
If they give me Daredevil after Wolverine, I might cry. I might.
Bro, the possibilities are endless. Blade, Moon Knight, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones game.
Jessica Jones game would be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
PI,
cool detective. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like your little side missions are saving local bars.
It's like fucking. It'd be Grand Theft Auto with powers. Get out the car.
And why would you think I don't want that, Joel? But no, in all realism, the fact that Marvel and Feige essentially signed off on Insomniac doing a Sony only release for Wolverine showcases that Insomniac probably has a list of characters they would like to get to. And apparently Feige is just like, do your thing, man. Do your thing. You know, if you can make this Wolverine game good, because here's the thing, you got to start with Wolverine. If you start with Daredevil and it doesn't work, it's hard to go.
It's also too similar to Spider-Man.
Exactly, right. But if you do Wolverine and it really takes off, it just opens the possibilities for other things they could do. It doesn't have to be Daredevil. It could
Daredevil. Even though I would love Daredevil, you would be literally taking maybe 1/10 of the city compared to Spider-Man, you know, or just Hell's Kitchen, which is just a pocket in Spider-Man's Manhattan. You know what I mean? But he's not Spider. He can't swing like that. So you have to change the mechanics. You'd have to be just stuck in Hell's Kitchen the whole time. You know, it's different.
Right. But I mean, you literally could make that full game just being about the Hand just overthrowing New York, or just Hell's Kitchen, starting with Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
And he has.
I just want to use whatever free running ability he has.
Bro, if they made Daredevil's mechanics like Assassin's Creed, I'd lose my mind.
That's exactly how it should be.
My mind.
But with a much better grappling hook.
Yes. Sorry. So Joel's 3 games were Wolverine, Spider-Man 2, and
Spider-Man.
God of War.
Ragnarok.
Wait.
I left out Star Wars because I never played.
Neither have I.
At this point,
I was excited. I'm very excited, but I've never played it, so I can't put it up there. But I was excited for like all the fans that have been asking for it. You know, like I know, like, oh my God, I know. And look, I will probably get it and play it. I'm just saying, those three will
definitely
definitely
get it,
surpass
yeah.
it because I never played the original. So
Yeah, AJ hit me up like ASAP, and I was just like, you know, it's not the movie, right? He's just like, no, but they're remaking the game. I said, yeah, no, that's
Well,
great.
it's gonna look beautiful.
My movie. I need my movie. All they're doing is just revamping what I've already played through. So it's more exciting for the people that have never played it, but for me,
I'm excited.
Now
I can play it
for the movie.
Better.
Yeah, no, you're right, Joel. So you're getting a better version of something that already exists, which is a good starting point to start with the better version. But for me, it would have to be drastically different than what I've played in order for me to be that excited. The way AJ was coming to me, I thought they announced the movie, and then when I clicked on it, I was just like,
"That's exciting." I mean,
not
there's a lot of
only
people that wanted that.
Well, yeah, but I was like, once I clicked on it, I'm like, not only is it a remake, it's only for PlayStation and PC, and I was just like, leave me alone, AJ. Like, don't come with me. Let me know when it's on Switch or some shit.
It will never be on Switch now. That's the only thing I'm sad about it. Switch isn't powerful enough for half these games. That's why I'm waiting for the Switch Pro if they ever do one. Then where they actually give it some power.
Yeah, I don't know how true that is, because when you look at Legend of Zelda, what was it, Joel?
Breath of the Wild.
No. I'm not saying it's the same, but I'm saying they could make more exclusive games for Switch that are of these different franchises that would work for the Switch. Like they make Star Wars games for the Switch.
I don't know what game they would do that for.
Nintendo has enough IP to hold off their own.
True.
Nintendo's very, very popular.
That's true.
Their IP is obviously very popular, or else they wouldn't be able to do what they did and
Mario
basically say, we don't want to be as powerful as you. We just want to be more versatile than you. You know what I mean?
Which it works, because I tell you, being able to go on the go is just
Yeah, and I'm not a on the go guy. Like I like sitting down and playing my shit. Like I've literally taken that fucker out of its socket 3 times.
It was great on the plane. It was great on the plane. Yeah,
I was just about to say, Trayvon, for that, I bought the newer Switch just to be on the go, and my original one is what stays in my port. But yeah, I needed to double up, because being on the go and just being like, I don't have to pause and save it.
You really are a Switch person. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. When Joel got the Switch and was just like, I am loving it, I said, well, it's time for me to get the Switch. And when I got it, I've never looked back. And then once they introduced 2K and wrestling at the time was on Switch, I was just like, if you bring my favorite IPs in, I don't need to go anywhere else. Right in the Switch family.
The only difference for me, like, I won't get a sports game on because it doesn't have, it won't. It looks better on the new system, on the PlayStation, Xbox.
For sure.
So I'm gonna go with the better graphics. You know?
Here's where Switch is great with the sports games, graphic-wise, when they're up close. Far away, you're just like, ooh, pixel. When they're up close shooting like free throws, it's like, that really is Julius Randle. Okay, all right, I like it. But outside of that, but to me, I don't mind it. It's not that bad. It's not PSP bad. That shit was just like,
no, of course not. This is a system. Like a
right.
System.
Right.
And the graphics are obviously not as good on the handheld port as compared to when it's on the TV.
Right. I do think Sony should look into that again. It was just ahead of its time. I think now it would work.
Yeah, it would be very interesting.
It might.
It would work.
I don't need it, but yeah.
No,
I would buy it.
Think of it like
I would buy it.
I would buy it, but here's the main reason why I would buy it, Trayvon. Is you ever been like rushing somewhere and like you're in a point of a game, so you're trying to get to the save point. The whole point of the PSP was you could just transfer from your PlayStation to the PSP and resume play while you're on the go. So it's never the I gotta hurry up and like let me get this play in or
a lot of games these days you don't need a save point anymore.
No, you're right. They have
games will save during the game where you never even have to like ever save it like separately.
Right.
Except for Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
That is true.
Good game, but there's some like,
yeah.
That game was not easy to beat. That's why I told you, Trayvon. Don't
Fun
play
game.
it on hard.
I'm having fun, but
don't play it on hard.
I'm not. Oh, trust me, no.
Yeah, normal was hard enough.
That's all I'm saying. Shit, just sliding on that ice to get to the rope was hard enough.
Yeah.
But all right, so Joel's 3. We've named already: Wolverine, Spider-Man, God of War. Trayvon, what were your 3 coming out of the showcase?
Well, they already took 2 of mine, of course. Is the Wolverine announcement is just, it's not because, okay, it may be because Wolverine, but it's also just because it's Insomniac. If it was, and it, like I keep saying, I'm gonna shit on it, I don't care. If it was those other 2 Marvel games, the Guardians and the Star-Lord game and the Hunter game.
Hold on. Are you're shitting on a Guardians game you haven't played yet?
It's Star-Lord and his Guardians. I don't like it. That's why I don't like it. That's why I don't like it. That's why I don't like Hunter and his pals. That's or her pals or whatever. That's what that game.
It's a guy or girl. You can play it. It's
Midnight Suns. That's what I got from it. It's Hunter and the Marvels. I don't know.
It's a strategy game. That's fun though. You create your own character and you play a strategy game.
Once those cars popped up, whew, I was like, I don't know about this. So I don't know what's going on.
I'll play it because it looks. I really do look forward to Midnight Suns. I got really excited for that.
Now I didn't say. Now I'm gonna play them. I'm gonna be mad the whole time because I'm gonna play them because it's something to play, and it's Marvel. Blah blah. I'm gonna do it, but it's just I just don't understand. It's just so weird. Like you got these games over here, and you got this game over here. You got this great Spider-Man example.
But not all of them have to be the same. You know what I mean? You got diversity.
I think I get mad because like I would rather play as Gamora, and then like over here you got Captain Marvel is not in the Avengers game yet. I really want her. She is over here in the Midnight Suns game. Over here just being a sidekick. Ghost Rider over here being a sidekick. I'm like, come on.
They're all because the problem is that you get to be. The problem is the main character is you. You in the character you create in that game, and everyone else is like playing off you, and they power up based on your relationship with the main character, which is you, the hunter, which could be a boy or girl or fucking whatever the fuck you make them look like. Or
I've been watching everything they put out. I watched like them fighting Sabretooth the other day, and I was like, okay, you know, whatever.
I'm excited.
For me,
it's different because like, I never played XCOM.
It is different.
So I can't.
I never played it either. Yeah, I never. I didn't know that was a thing. So yeah.
I didn't think either.
I'm not gonna lie, I never heard of it. I was like, what is that called?
Apparently Marvel knows what the fuck it was.
Right.
And apparently there's a Marvel fighting game that there's rumors that there's a Marvel fighting game coming up. So
yeah, we've been hearing about that for a little while now.
We'll see.
Be interesting. Yeah.
Especially if it's from NetherRealm. Like I'm like, oh my god, I'll be fucking crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
Mortal Kombat versus Marvel.
Well, no, but like if it's like Injustice, like Injustice is
right.
Like,
yeah.
That'd be fucking nuts.
Good.
What would an Injustice Marvel story be?
Injustice Marvel story? Like what kind of weird? I don't know.
I just mean like Superman became the bad guy. And that's
Doctor Strange losing it.
Right.
Doctor Strange losing it. Like, what if?
Could be. I mean, all it takes is one symbiote taking over a powerful Avenger, and it kind of just spawns it into some crazy shit.
Yeah,
that's interesting to think about.
Over game. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Different symbiote versions of characters.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's probably because it's like there's, I don't know, I don't because Marvel there's a lot of death with people, so it's like I don't think anybody's ever had a death that affected them so much they became evil. Like maybe Hulk losing Betty, but I mean Hulk just goes crazy like that regardless in the comics. Don't take much. That'd be interesting to think about though. We
just saw Doctor Strange kind of go through that, right? So
yeah, right. All right, so Trayvon, so the first one was the Wolverine, and then you said the Spider-Man.
Now, are these in order? If it's like anticipation, it's definitely Spider-Man 2 overall. Everything.
Oh yeah, however you want to order.
It's definitely Spider-Man 2, the main one. I really can't wait for. Wolverine is it was a big surprise, so that's definitely right behind. That's number 2. And for me, it's between this Forsaken or what is it? Forspoken.
I know you're talking about. It's like that
Forspoken game. Yeah, that Forspoken game.
Crazy.
It looks pretty cool. And then it's in the Knights of the Old Republic because I keep hearing everybody talk about it all the time.
Me too. I'm like
yeah, that's between those two.
I'm telling you, Knights of the Old Republic. What's special about the game isn't necessarily the gameplay. It's just a story. It's just a story that's so beautiful. It's just the idea that Jedi have just been kicking it, not really caring, just Jedi this, Jedi that, and then millions of Sith come out of nowhere, and the Jedi are not prepared. And the person you saw in the trailer was Revan. I don't like Revan. That's who AJ likes. I am a Darth Malgus guy. I was upset.
Is that somebody that's in the game too?
Yes, Darth Malgus is in the game.
Okay.
When you look at him, you'll think he looks like Vader. But Malgus didn't technically come first, but timeline wise, he came first. So this is in like the golden age of Star Wars. Well before your Obi-Wans, your Anakins, your Mace Windus. This is like when Yoda was young, if born at all. So Knights of the Old Republic is such a open timeline for someone to just take and play with. So that's why it's always been cherished to me. It's just a story of it. Just a story of it. I think I showed you because me and AJ were trying to get you and Shekinah hyped. I think I showed you the trailer for it. I sent you the trailer.
Yes, we did watch it. Yeah, we did watch it. You watched
the trailer, right?
Yeah.
Malgus was the one that was fighting them in the woods.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. That was Darth Malgus. Yeah.
I wonder. I mean, I don't think it didn't give a date, right? They didn't give a date for that. I don't think they gave a date for Forspoken.
No dates. None of the new shit.
Yeah. So I don't know when. I mean, the only game we really know that's coming very soon is the Star-Lord game. And
Guardians November, I think. Right?
No, October actually.
October? Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, those are my like that Forspoken game looks really cool to me. I remember when I first saw a little tease of it, I was like, "Oh, what's this?" She like gliding around and flying around and shooting magic and stuff. I was, "Oh, sounds like my kind of game." Hold on.
Bloodhunt looks good too. That looks pretty interesting. The vampire game.
Oh yeah. Is that one they did a what you say vampire?
Yeah,
there was another vampire game I saw.
Okay, that was for Xbox, I think, but that looked cool too, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
I will say one thing I was looking for Sony to do that it seems like they just don't have any interest in doing. It would for damn sure have me buy it, just any kind of PlayStation tomorrow. I want Sly Cooper. I want Sly Cooper back. And it seems like they just have no interest in bringing back Sly Cooper.
I want Sly back too. I want like the last game. He had a fourth game, and then like PS4 became king, and I'm like, not now. Like I had the trilogy at home, like the Sly trilogy.
They were such good games, man. They were such good games. The last one, Joel, was when the woman
time travel
from his. Oh, then I'm probably thinking of the one before that. When the woman of his past comes back, and she needs his help. I think that was before the one you're talking about. But no, I love Sly Cooper. So to me, I'm waiting for Sony to decide to bring that franchise back. Because if there's two games, right? If there's two games that need somewhat of a soft reboot just to kind of get the excitement back, I think it's Uncharted and Sly Cooper.
Oh, Uncharted! I don't know how you continue it.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. It might need a small reboot. A small reboot.
You know, Nathan Drake, like they're doing with Indiana Jones to make him real old.
That would be interesting. Because see,
50-year-old Nathan Drake.
Here's the problem that Uncharted runs into. Because they did do a PSP version. They did do a PSP version. So it's like Uncharted, unfortunately, can't ever go into the realm of gender swapping because then you're just Tomb Raider. You literally just become Tomb Raider.
Well, they did do a spin-off of those two girls.
Oh, how was that? Because I didn't play that.
I never played it either.
Oh.
I had no interest. I like it's Drake, and it's weird to Uncharted without Nathan Drake. It's awkward.
No, I completely get you. It's like if out of nowhere Indiana Jones was not Indiana Jones. It was someone else.
It's Indiana Jones, but it's other characters. It's weird.
Right. It's just
it's not called Nathan Drake though, which is
right. You're right. You know? But it's synonymous with it. It's synonymous.
But if they want to go and make it maybe a dual game, like because it's always him and Sully. So what happens if Sully is gone now? Maybe he dies off, and now Nathan becomes the elder statesman, and his daughter takes over as she's a Drake, so she takes over as the next. Again, it might be too much like Tomb Raider, so I agree. But they gave him a daughter at the end. I can't really. What are you gonna do?
No, if they decide to do it, yeah, I saw that, Trayvon. Where Joel, what he sent me was it's somewhere in the background of the showcase. It's like a Sly Cooper logo, maybe insinuating maybe something's to come.
If you can see
No, other way.
Can't
really see it all that well.
Okay, I see it right there. I see it.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I want to add
that
another
live action thing.
I want to add another one to that. Infamous.
I thought one of those.
That's what everybody thought it was.
Actually, with the beginning of the Spider-Man game, I thought it was right. Yeah,
a lot of people did. I was watching reactions.
Yeah,
I don't know why. This is what everybody said.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. My brother had a PlayStation at the time, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. Infamous was that game that almost converted me, because it was just so freeing, and his abilities were amazing. Amazing.
Travel around and
good
or bad, and you're like,
So when I saw that, I said, "Oh man, am I gonna buy a PlayStation?" And then I just lost interest after.
You just need to play more PlayStation games. Maybe you'll understand.
Yeah, see, that's dangerous. That's dangerous territory. I have a very addicting personality. I feel like once I start one of these PlayStation games, it's over. It's a wrap.
Well, all PlayStation has really good IPs, so that's what I mean.
The best IPs. There is no one else that comes close to their IP.
Only one that's comparable is Nintendo.
Right, and that's just because they have legacy apps.
Yeah, it's old.
They're more so just legacy. Right. Because like a lot of people are buying Switch. They bought the first one for either Smash or Zelda.
Smash, baby. And then
they're legacy. Those are legacy characters. So to me, it's more so just leaning on your legacy. It was what?
It's Odyssey for me. I didn't buy one until the Odyssey came out.
Legacy.
That's when I bought it.
I gotta get Joel that game so he can play it. I love that game, Trayvon. I love that game so much. So yeah, Joel, you gotta play that because I think you would really. No, you played some of it when I brought it over. Was that Odyssey?
Which one?
Is that Mario Odyssey?
Mario Odyssey.
Mario Odyssey. I played a little bit. I wanted to continue playing it, but I never got to.
Yes, you played a little bit of it though. Okay,
it looked fun. I just never got a chance.
It's so much fun. The only thing that would have made that game better is if they extended it with being able to go through with Luigi.
Okay, that'll be cool. But Luigi gets his own game. He has the mansion game.
So fun as well.
Is it?
So wait, let me ask you, and I'm not trying to say this to be disrespectful at all. I always thought those games were catered for like kids. Are those really fun games?
What, Luigi Mansion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's fun.
I played the arcade version. That shit was fun too.
They're fun. Yeah.
Don't you suck up ghosts in your little vacuum cleaner?
Yes. Yeah. This was very when it
I played it for
me. Yes, exactly. When they made that on GameCube, I remember I played it until I finished it. I think one night. I think we just played all night long. And then when I was like, "Oh, they got a new one. Oh, I'm getting that. I can't wait." So yeah, so I'm just very much fun.
Fun fact that no one ever asked me about: I've never finished the game on any system except for Xbox.
It's not shocking to me. I know.
No. It should be because remember I told you I had Sega Genesis, I had Nintendo 64, I had Dreamcast, I had PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PSP.
Didn't have Dreamcast.
Never finished the game in any of those systems. Never. Still regret it to this day. Just I never beat anything.
For Sunshine. I bought
this
for Sunshine.
No, I want that for 64. I want that for 64, Trayvon.
I have an issue with Sunshine. And it's not Sunshine's fault. It's Nintendo's. Yeah. Super Smash Brothers gave the FLUDD to Mario in Smash Brothers. Yeah. It's one of his moves. I fucking hate that move. And it's like, what? He's only had that thing one time. I'd rather they switched it and gave me the hat from Odyssey than fucking FLUDD. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I just thought that was late. I mean, come on, like FLUDD, that was a gimmick, and then he never uses FLUDD again. Like, I don't never need to see that move again.
That's true. He only used it for this, and I bought this game for that. I bought this for that. They knew what they were doing when they put this damn thing out. I said, I was like, damn it. What Sunshine so bad? Yeah.
Only other game I played, because I never played a lot of new Mario games. Like, so I'm only used to the old ones. But like, I played Odyssey. Odyssey was fun. I did like Galaxy. Like, the first time I ever played Galaxy.
Okay.
Yes.
Because it reminded me of the old Super Mario World. I'm like, okay, it played. I mean, it looks different, but it had a lot of the same qualities. And so I did like Super Mario Galaxy.
So we enjoyed this PlayStation showcase. I'm just waiting for the day that somebody remakes Path of Neo and Enter the Matrix. If I can get those two games remade, dream come true. Dream come true.
Path of Neo, Into the Matrix.
Have you played those games, Joel?
But as a remake, I just don't see it happening.
No, have you played them though?
No, I only played one of them, and it looked interesting. I remember the game looks fun.
When I tell you, Enter the Matrix was awesome because you could play as either an agent, not an agent, one of the Matrix, somebody that was made for the game, or Jada Pinkett Smith's character. And the running up the walls and shit, amazing. But Path of Neo is the most slept on game ever. You could fly, you could stop bullets, you could use weapons. That game was so much goddamn fun.
You said Path of Neo?
Path of Neo, yeah. Obviously living up to its name, you're just playing through the three movies as Neo.
Okay.
And one of the scenes that you get to play out is a scene at the park where he's taking the pole to over 100 different agents. And you're just beating the shit out of these agents. And you have to go pick up poles out of the ground to use as weapons.
Oh, okay.
I love that game so much. I think I played that game on Xbox till my hands got sore. I love that. The two games I played for that first Xbox, or three games, Max Payne, Path of Neo, and Joel, this will be the only time I ever give you credit, was I played MLB that had Derek Jeter on the cover.
Really?
Yeah, that MLB with Derek Jeter on the cover. Yeah,
that is actually that sounds right, because I remember that game too. I think that might have been the only baseball game I ever played.
think that's the only baseball game most people played. That was probably till the show really came into its own. That was probably the best baseball game.
I can't figure out how to hit the ball. Like, it's just
the timing is it's more difficult than playing golf, honestly. Because you have to gauge the timing, and it's not easy. No. So to me, remake Path of Neo. That's what I want. Remake it.
I just saw something. Speaking of video games, I don't know what I'm looking at, but it may have 10 or 12. I could be wrong. I don't want to say it until I know for sure.
What are you looking at?
I don't know. Someone just kind of reported something. I don't know how real it is, so I don't want to speak on it.
We can speculate. What is it? We don't have to say it as actual news. We could just speculate.
Okay. I don't. Again, I'm not sure where they're getting this information. But I don't know if they're mobile games or just regular games. But there's they have a list of games, I guess upcoming games. And one on the list, one says one is Heads Up. Don't know what the fuck that is. The other one is Injustice 3, Gods Will Fall. Apparently.
Ooh.
I don't know if that's real.
If that is real, Joel, that means that's taking place of. Remember, I told you the part in the comics where he literally goes to Wonder Woman's home, and literally has to fight Zeus and all the other gods.
I've been in the mood to play Injustice 2. I just have no more room right now until I finish the game that I have. And until then, I can't go back to Injustice 2. Jupiter Ascending apparently is going to have a game.
That's weird.
Man of Steel. I don't know how real that is. Mission. Again, there's 2 Mortal Kombat games on here. There's Mortal Kombat Next Gen and then Mortal Kombat 12. So which is the same shit then, no?
I would assume so, yeah.
And then there's a Scooby-Doo game. But
a Scooby-Doo game.
A Scooby-Doo game.
I kind of like that.
That sounds fun.
That Scooby-Doo game, yeah.
And my friend Scooby-Doo, and a Pacific Rim game.
Ooh.
I don't know where this is coming from. I just fell on it.
That's fine. We could just, like I said, speculation is fine. We just, don't have to ever acknowledge it as actual news. But an Injustice 3 game, I mean, that's that's realistic. We all assume an Injustice 3 game is on the horizon.
That's what I figured too.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's like someone saying like, oh, we're gonna be getting an Avengers 5 movie. Well, yeah, duh.
Like, well, that's the thing, like, especially because they just finished doing Mortal Kombat updates, right? Like 11 just finished, they're not, because they're focused on the next game. What's the next game? It's usually an Injustice game.
Right.
So
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm like that's one of those safe bets. So where it's just like, yeah, yeah, probably. But no, I like that. And if they are doing a Man of Steel, man, oof, good luck. Because
take all this with a grain of salt.
Right.
I have no idea where it's coming from. So
right. I hope so. I hope some of those are true, especially that Scooby-Doo game. I would not mind playing.
Not sure how it would play, but okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that too. Scooby-Doo.
Just be good is all I ask. But all right. So PlayStation left a lot to look out for. Some of these games are 2023, not 2022. That's the sucky part. It's like, why don't you show me anything?
When I saw Spider-Man 2, I think it's 2023. I'm like,
right.
Yeah, that hurt. That hurt with that pop.
Why?
I was like, come on, man.
I'm already old. Don't make me older.
Which part of me is curious if they've only just started on the game, and maybe that's some of the footage that they've captured so far. It's the only thing I can think of, because again, my mind always goes to marketing, and it's like, if the game's done, like completely done, a Spider-Man movie is 2-3 months away. Why not just release this? And it doesn't have to be this year, obviously, but just a few months after the movie comes out, to kind of be around that hype of Spider-Man.
I feel like that's
it probably just isn't done.
I feel like that's what they'll do for the. I mean, I guess maybe the Avengers one is coming up. The Marvel Avengers, they've been teasing that forever, so maybe that's what's going to happen for this movie. To go along with
probably.
it. I'm assuming.
Unless they backed out from it, but I don't think
it was on the roadmap, so I don't know.
I don't think
he was up there.
But yeah, so that really sucks. That really, really, really does suck. Because it's kind of like you squeeze all the juice out of this the two Spider-Man games that we've got. You kind of squeeze all the juice out of it. You're like, I need a new orange so I can squeeze more juice out. Like, don't tell me I gotta wait for you to grow a new orange.
They could technically give them the suits from the movie when it comes out. They could technically still do it.
Oh yeah, they can.
No, for sure they can. For sure. That doesn't. I
look forward to playing with Spider-Man in Avengers, because I get to play with those movie costumes.
Right. Yeah. No, that doesn't change anything. I'm just saying, if it's done. Ask Joel. Joel knows how impatient I am. If it's done, I have no patience in waiting. If it's not done, take all the time you need. But if you're done, I don't get it. Like, I still don't get how the Batman has not moved back. You just saw
they don't want to put on HBO Max.
No. You just saw what Shang-Chi did. If Shang-Chi can do that, you're telling me Batman can't?
Well, man, they already made their decision, you know? It's only a couple months away at this point. You know?
So they made the decision the first time and then moved it.
Yeah, they didn't know how bad it was.
They moved it. They moved it because of HBO Max thing. I'm telling you, that's why they moved it.
It's true. It's true.
That's why
they moved it very far
every
ahead.
movie in 2021 was going to be HBO Max. They don't want to do that.
That's why there was only one real DC movie out this year.
Right.
It was Suicide Squad. That was
they didn't want to do that. Yeah.
But like I said, if it's, I'm very impatient in that. If that shit's done, don't sit on it. Don't sit on it.
Maybe they'll surprise you at Fandom and they'll announce it's coming out in December or something. I don't know. I doubt it.
Well, no. The only reason, Trayvon, that I was saying really that I would hope it would move back up is they're saying it's supposed to be taking inspiration from Long Halloween, and it's like, you were originally going to release it in the month of October. Now releasing it in what, March is just like
up against Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it's just like
Doctor Strange.
It's going to be up 3 weeks before Doctor Strange. That's going to be great.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that panned out. We've already had a DC versus Marvel with their two equally similar movies of BVS and Civil War, and they both made good money. They both
They're
made
months apart, considering.
No, remember they weren't going to be to begin with.
Oh,
They weren't going
to go head to head. That would never bad idea.
I would have liked to have seen how that would have played out. Because I know us as fans would have just said, all right, shit, one's at 7, one's at 10. I'm making both.
Yeah, that's why you don't play that game when you're trying to make money. Nope.
That is true. But all right, so we can't wait to see what else Sony has in store, especially once we get closer to the release dates of some of these games, some of the gameplay, so a little bit more information. But I can't wait. Hopefully Uncharted is on the horizon. Hopefully Sly Cooper is on the horizon. Because those are two Sony projects that I love.
Ratchet and Clank can get new games. I think that's Insomniac too, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Trayvon was talking about that earlier. I feel like there's a Ratchet and Clank per year. Like, it's just like, hey, did we put out Ratchet and Clank this year? Oh, we did. Okay, all right, just make sure. We got it for next year. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I haven't even played that game, so I'm not even making fun of the game.
I never played it either. I played Jack and Daxter, Sly Cooper.
I did play Jack and Dexter. I will just say this, Trayvon. I am 28, and I feel as though since I've been 8 years old, there's been a Ratchet and Clank game. So that just lets you know that it does feel like per year or per 2 years, there's a Ratchet and Clank game, and it's just like enough. Do more. Do other stuff, PlayStation. Goodness gracious.
Mine is in plastic. I haven't opened it yet. I don't know.
Shit, I tell you what, if PlayStation is eager to do a game,
it came in a bundle, man.
If PlayStation is eager to do a game like that, give us Banjo.
That's Xbox.
That's Xbox?
Banjo-Kazooie?
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was all platforms. So that never came out on PlayStation?
No. It's rare.
You said Sly Cooper. I thought about that.
Bro, so you're telling me all we have for claim to fame is Halo and Banjo and Gears of War?
That's right. That's what you got.
History will not look back kindly on Xbox. It just will not.
Yeah. Be proud
I'm just thinking of our grandkids going, what games did you play on Xbox? And when you tell them, they're just like, all right, what else? It's like, no, that's it. No, there's no way they made an Xbox, a Halo game every year. They did. They did. They really did. But all right. Huge shouts out to Sony. Huge shouts out to Trayvon and Joel for joining me to talk some Sony. And who knows, maybe in a year's time, we'll be sitting here, all three of us, having a PlayStation.
Yes.
Yes. And it can live in the multiverse where it belongs, but not in its reality. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you same time, same place next time. But till then,